while you're getting that plan, you can press play at any point in time. It's kind of funny, you know, when you see somebody doing, it's like, hey, you're gonna answer the door. Like, it shit looks funny, right? We're in an office, it's not a real door. But when you go to the Mike Ferry event, they literally throw a freaking door on the stage and they make you really do it. You know, how many times have you knocked on the door and soon as they answer the door, you said some stupid shit? Like, you're like, hello, you mumble your voice and you didn't know what you were really saying, you weren't that confident. Like, it's not just practicing that presentation, that's a given. You really have to know how far away. Like, when you go knock on the door, how far away are you from the door?
I knock on the door. I mean, I'm right in front of the door when I knock on it. But then I take like a step and a half back.
Yeah, you definitely want to step about 5 feet, that's probably going to happen. You're going to
step and a half back is like 5 feet.
So you definitely don't want to hog over a door. And how many times when you guys are going on a listing presentation do you catch yourself ringing the doorbell?
I knock.
But who in here has rang the doorbell before for a listing presentation? None of you guys been on a listing presentation?
Is it bad?
Right?
I rang the doorbell.
But what happens is, because I've been on several with some of the people in this room, and the first thing that they do is, oh, let's just go for the doorbell. And there's something about a powerful knock when you knock on somebody's door. It's all the little things. There's several listing presentation videos on the computer right here. We'll add this one to that as well, but you should watch what they're doing from start to finish, okay? So you can put your phone up?
Well, whenever you get to a presentation, you probably don't plan on answering the phone during it, so you should probably go ahead and push airplane mode.
And what else do you do?
And then you should go to record it so that you can make sure that you're doing everything that you should be. And if you don't get the listing, at least you can go back and listen to it and say, hey, you know what, I didn't handle that objection very well. You know, maybe I could say this or work on it or role play it a little bit. So then you just do that first because you're not even going to answer it.
And what's the problem for most people not wanting to record it?
They know that they're not going to stick to the script.
And why aren't they probably going to stick to it?
Because they think they can do it better on their own with the ego.
And they haven't really taken the time to really master it and even write it down, right?
Yeah,
many times.
I can wing it like the best with the best of them, but
that's right. But can most
the real script.
You know what,
better.
Cody can't. You know, we've been like one of the first presentations we went on together. We definitely did do the Mike Ferry. We could have done a lot better. However, you can tell from even Cody's first time out there and me out there with him that our personality style and kind of how we just get down, people will sign with us. I can probably go over there and talk to them, and it's probably going to work out. Larry's that same kind. You could probably go over there and have some great conversations, and they might go, you know what, Larry, I want to work with you on this. But hey, for some of you guys, unfortunately, it's just not the case. You might not be an expressive. If they happen to be an expressive or a certain personality style and it happens to be the same kind as yours, then it might not click. If you're an analytical and you go over there and it's an analytical, maybe winging it might work out. But if that person's a driver and you're an analytical, that driver does not want to hear all the freaking nonsense that you're telling them about stats. He just wants to get that shit done. He wants to get it done in the next 2 minutes. Right? So that's why you have to have the script and you have to understand who you're speaking with every single time. And you should know that by following up with them 2, 3, 4 times before that appointment, so that now at the appointment, this guy's analytical as hell. So he's going to love when I say process. He's going to love when I say line by line, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do. The driver doesn't really want to see those things. Okay? So let's get started.
All right. Also, I kind of have this a little left open so that I can prepare to open it whenever I meet with them, and you'll see why in just a second. Hey. Open the door.
Open the door. Whatever.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, it's Chris.
Cody Kubash, Century 21.
Nice to meet you, Cody. Doing pretty good, man. Come on in.
Hey, thanks for having me over.
Hey, should I take you around and let you see my house?
Oh, you know what? I would definitely love to see the house. If you wouldn't mind, could you meet me at the breakfast or dining room table? I'd like to look at the home through the eyes of the buyer.
Okay. Don't steal anything when you're in here, man.
I definitely won't. So I brought over an extra copy of the pre-listing packet. Did you have a chance to go over that?
I briefly went through it.
Okay, good deal. If you wouldn't mind, go over some of the points in there again while I take a look at the home, okay?
Hey, thanks, Cody. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Whenever I walk around, if I notice some stuff that is definitely wrong with the house, I note it down, because if I take the listing, I'm going to tell them to fix it. All right, Chris, thanks for having me over.
Yeah, man, it was a perfect time. I just got off work about 45 minutes ago, and I got somebody else coming in about 2 hours, so I figured I'd be with you, have a little bit of dinner, and meet with them.
Awesome, good deal, Chris. So I have a couple questions for you before we get started.
Okay.
Now, you do absolutely have to sell this house, right?
Yeah, we got to. We're actually moving out to Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, so moving out to Jacksonville, you definitely have to sell. Now, are you going to price the home to sell, Chris, or do you want to leave it on the market for a long period of time?
Well, we thought we priced it to sell last time, but we've been on the market for about maybe about 5.5, 6 months, and then no go on it. But I kind of have an idea we might need to do something with price, but I also think my last agent wasn't doing too much, and hopefully if you're not like him, maybe you can sell it for that price or close to it.
Awesome. So you definitely want to make sure that the price we set on the home is going to actually cause it to sell while still netting you the money you're looking to make, right?
Exactly. We have a certain amount that we have in mind that we got to take.
Okay. So do you want me to handle the sale for you, Chris?
We'll see what you got to say, and the guy here at 7 o'clock.
Awesome. Sounds good. So at the end of my presentation tonight, one of three things is going to happen. Now, you'll decide to list your home with me. 2, you'll decide not to list your home with me. Or 3, I'll decide not to take your listing. Any one of those is fine.
Any reason why you just wouldn't take my listing? Did you not like the house when you looked around?
Oh, you know what? It's a great house. I'd love to sell it for you. However, we can't come to terms on exactly what we're going to be doing as far as price and preparing the property to sell. Then I wouldn't want to waste your time, and I'm sure you're not looking to waste mine, right?
I can appreciate that, Cody.
Awesome. So you said that you already have another home over there in Jacksonville, and really you just still have another mortgage on this one, and you need to get it sold, right?
Yeah, we're actually closed on that one here in about a week and a half.
Okay, so you're closing on it in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Definitely sooner than we could get a closing on this.
Well, it's a new
property.
build. So, we had actually 6 months ago, we went over there, looked at houses. They said about 6 months to build. And they'd already have the slab on it. So it was actually a little bit, came out a little bit sooner, but they let us close a little bit later on the property. But kind of thought this one had been sold by now.
Right, absolutely. Could understand. You wanted to put it on the market to sell. So you're tired of, you definitely don't want to pay for this one since that home's going to be ready soon. You're not looking to carry 2 mortgages for very long.
That's right.
You get pretty costly. So you said you're looking to price the home at $800,000, Chris?
800,000. We were at about what was it, like 819, 820 last time. Yeah.
Okay. So you currently owe $650,000, right?
650,000.
Okay, good deal. Now you're not looking to sell this home yourself, are you?
No, I'm actually kind of in sales for my job, but I really don't have time, and I really need to get out to Jacksonville.
Absolutely. I agree. It can be a full-time job selling real estate.
Yeah.
So I completely understand you. Now, on this, you do need all the cash out because you need to go ahead and pay off that mortgage and move out to Florida, right?
Yeah, sooner than later.
Awesome. So really, there's only 2 issues we have to look at tonight, Chris. 1 is your motivation to sell, which we've obviously discussed is pretty high. And 2 is the price that we set for your home. Can I show you what I mean?
Yeah, show me what you mean.
Okay. Well, the purpose of I prepared what we call a comparative market analysis.
Okay.
There's actually 2 parts to this research, Chris. Part 1 we call Fantasyland, which is what homeowners list their homes for. Part 2 we call reality, which is what professional real estate agents like myself list and sell homes for.
So you think we were in Fantasyland last time at 820, or because the house down the street sold for like 835, and it wasn't that much bigger than ours, So
you know what, Chris? We're going to go over all the most recent comparable competitive sales so that you can see exactly where we should be. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the purpose of a comparative market analysis is really to determine the value of the home in the eyes of a buyer. Are you aware of how buyers determine value, Chris?
Yeah, probably now. Especially, it's pretty easy with the internet. I just bought a car, and I just go look around on Auto Trader and see what's out there at certain prices. And if it's crazy price, I'm not even jacking around with it. Right?
Absolutely. You're only really going to spend your time looking at homes that are priced correctly, right?
Yeah, like when I got it, I literally went to 2 dealerships. I didn't have to go to 20 like it was 1995.
Absolutely. Internet's made it a great thing to go ahead and do all that legwork sitting in the comfort of your own home. Mm-hmm. So the purpose of the comparative market analysis, like I said, is to determine the value in the eyes of a buyer. Now, the way that most buyers, even yourself, do that is by comparison shopping. Mm-hmm. They look at your home based on its features and benefits and the price that you've set, and they compare it to other homes that are actively on the market or have currently sold with similar features and benefits.
Okay.
All right.
What do you find anything promising for me?
You know what? We're going to go over everything, Chris, because I do want to make sure that we really, truly understand what these other homes are selling for.
Sure.
It is going to be an important part of the process.
Okay.
So, Chris, as you mentioned before, it's just like car sales in some ways. It's kind of, sales 101.
Yeah.
That, if you're going to go to a dealership and there's a car there that you like, $50,000, so you got the nice new Mercedes, you're going to buy that car for $50,000 from one dealership. But then you go to the second dealership, and they've got the same car for $50,000, and this thing is easily worth $10,000 to $15,000 more than the other one based on the upgrades it has.
Yeah, I like that one.
You're definitely going to want to get that one for $50,000, which is the same price as the one that doesn't have the upgrades.
That's right.
So what if the first dealership said, hey, you know what, we're going to sell this one for $35,000? Which one would have more value then?
Yeah, if it really the body and everything else looks the same, I can maybe add some other kind of things later if I want to.
Absolutely. And you might even realize that some of those other things you needed weren't really worth the extra money you'd be paying. So
yeah, it's just kind of like an extra, right? So.
Exactly. So if you want to increase value, you either have more features and benefits for the same price, or you lower the price. So are you prepared to add more features and benefits to your home, sir?
You know, the house is what, like 2002, 2009. We did some new stuff to it. It's already been 10 years since then. I really don't want to put stuff in here. We just put 35% down on that new house. So, and that house is about the same price as this one. So,
plus, if you added anything right now, we're talking at least a couple weeks before it's ready to go, and that's just extending your timeline further than you really want.
And it's a big house. If this was like maybe a 1,500 square foot house.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'd throw some carpet and some granite in here and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But, you know, what does the tax record show on our house now?
The tax record as far as the appraised value?
You know, for the size.
Oh, for the size? It says that you have a 3,100 square foot lot.
Yeah, so.
Or size of the home.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
you've
about
got a 4,000 square foot home.
Yeah, that's about right. 4,000.
Yeah, it would definitely take up too much time, and you definitely need to go ahead and sell this property so you can just move out to Florida in that new house, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Awesome. So I've prepared all the recent comparable closed sales that I think are most competitive to yours.
Okay.
Here's a copy for you to go over. I'd like to take a look at this first one with you.
And all these are pretty much in the neighborhood right next to it?
All these homes are within a quarter mile of your house.
Okay. So I see all these are closed, right? So these are no longer on the market?
I've prepared 4 closed sales and 1 pending sale, sir.
Okay.
The pending sale is actually across the street from you.
Yeah, I've seen that house.
Did you see the house?
I think those guys maybe start working on that house a little bit too early every morning. That's what I'm thinking about that house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they need to wait till like maybe 8:30, but they're there pretty early. So
I could understand that.
But they build them fast, so you know.
Yeah, they definitely build them fast around there. Now, Chris, if you take a look at this one, I would normally mark these.
Okay.
One. If you take a look at this first one here, Chris, do you see how big is that home?
This property is 3,550.
Okay, so it's a little bit smaller than your home. How many bedrooms does it have?
So on that one, it's 3 bedroom, yeah.
And how many baths?
It has 3.5 baths.
Okay. Now, what did it sell for?
It sold. Where's the price on here?
And if you flip to the other page here, highlighted is the price that the home sold for.
Ouch. Well, it is a lot smaller though, right? So 617. You know, 450 square foot times 173 got to be a whole lot more than 617.
Yeah. Now, if you flip to the next page, sir, you can see the interior finish of the home. Now, do you see that your home is a little bit better than this one?
Yeah, they got some colors in this house, man.
Yes, they really do have some colors in the house. I don't know if I'd pick out that couch.
No, it kind of give me a headache looking at it.
Now, but do you see the features and finishes that they have? You know, they don't have the granite countertops that you have, and they don't have the updated bathrooms. So your home is better than this one.
Yeah, this is just clean. It's really what it is. It looks pretty nice and clean and colorful.
Okay. So if you go to comparable number 2, here, how big is that house?
This one's even smaller, 3,108.
Yes, sir. This one's 3,108.
So, Cody, let me ask you, is there just not a lot of homes that are about 4,000 square feet around me, really?
There actually are not a lot of homes that are 4,000 square feet. Most are in the 3,200 to the 3,600.
Do you think that kind of hurts me a little bit? Because I know nobody's complaining, of course, about the home being that big, but the first time 6 months ago when we were looking at some comps, there wasn't, my whole thing was, man, ours is the biggest. You know, I thought it was going to be a real big selling point because there was just nothing else out there.
You know, it definitely adds some desirability, but are you aware of what price per square foot does when you increase the size of a home or decrease the size of a home in an area?
Well, I know that, like, I bought our daughter a little house that she could just lease from us, and it was a little 1,300 square foot house, and it was like $1 million a square foot because it's so small. And I know other homes in the neighborhood were like $20-$30 a square foot less, that were a lot bigger. So, you know, I did have an idea that maybe being at 4,000 might be a little bit less per square foot, but I really don't want it to bring us down to, you know, a really low price. You know?
Absolutely, sir. I definitely want to get you the most amount of money possible, but it is important to go over what has sold recently.
Yeah, for sure.
So you see the size of this home is considerably smaller than yours. Do you see how many bedrooms they have?
Yeah, it says it's 3/4 on this one, so maybe an option, I guess.
Yeah, 3 with an optional 4th bedroom. Maybe it's a study or something of that nature. Okay. And how many bathrooms does it have?
It's 3.5.
Okay. Now, if you flip to the next page, what's the sales price there?
$652, but more per square foot, of course. But 652.5.
Absolutely. That was a smaller house, so higher price per square foot. It's important to understand that relationship when analyzing the comparables. Okay. So,
and this one sold in 38 days, huh?
Yes, sir. This one did sell in 38 days.
I do like that.
Now, if you go to the next one, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you go to the photos, you see that the finish is actually more similar to yours than the last one that we looked at.
Yeah, this actually, it looks like it has the same floors we have.
Same floors. They've got an updated kitchen, updated bathrooms. The master bathroom, you can see there, is very nice in this home. And it looks like they do have the larger cabinetry in this home as well. Yeah, they have the 42-inch cabinets.
It's pretty nice. I definitely, if I'm a buyer, I'm buying this one, even though it's a little bit smaller, probably.
Yeah, it's still a great home. So if you go to the next comparable, sir, you can see, how big is this one?
3420.
All right, and how many bedrooms?
It's 3 bedrooms, and it's 3.5.
Absolutely, so same as yours. Now, how much did this one sell for, sir, if you look on the next page?
$692, so about $202 a square foot.
Absolutely, so a little bit closer to where we're shooting for, right?
Yeah,
so,
about $100,000 off, you know.
Yeah. Now, do you see the features in this home, sir? Nicer than the last one, and definitely looks like it's coming in line with where your property should be, as far as the overall finish.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice house. This is a little bit more traditional, but it is really nice.
Absolutely. So, if you look at the last comparable that I have, it goes down to 3,200 square foot here. Now, how many bedrooms does this one have?
It has 3.
So same as yours, and how many bathrooms?
3.5.
Okay. And how much did this home sell for?
Let's check it out. It was listed at $698 at that small. Let's see. It sold $695 actually.
$695.
50.
Exactly. And this one sold in.
What does that mean? I see like the last agent I had last time. It showed me some properties with like some of them just have the 13, some of them have that asterisk. What is that? What's going on with that?
If you look over here on the next page, sir, I've actually attached what's called the property archive, and that shows exactly how long this home's been on the market. And
okay, so they had it on before with somebody else, huh?
Yes, sir. As you can see, it went option pending, and then after that fell through, they put it online as a new listing. So as this new listing, it was on for 13 days. It was on for 10 days before it went option pending previously, for a total of 34 days on market.
I like the 34 days on market though.
Absolutely. So it does seem like people are buying these homes whenever they are, you know, at a pretty good price in this area. So there are people looking to move into this area. So do you see the features and finish on this property, sir? It's very similar to the last one we just looked at, and similar to yours as well. And they actually even have a small backyard here.
Yeah, this was not bad at all.
Yeah, this is a nice home.
Nice staircase too. Even has a backyard. Now, you know, these are a lot of solds, and I really like seeing the solds because I guess you get to get an idea of what it's actually they're selling for. How many are active right around me right now? Do you have an idea?
You know, there's actually very few properties that are active that are very similar to yours, and we've already discussed there's very few homes in the area that are 4,000 square foot.
Okay. I guess maybe above 3,000. Do you know if is there a lot of competition? Would it be better for us to maybe lease it out if we can't get 800,000, or what are your thoughts?
Well, you know, my thoughts on leasing it out is, you know, have you ever done a lease for somebody? Have you ever leased your home out to someone?
I'm doing it for my daughter right now, so I'm hoping she doesn't tear it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, generally speaking, whenever you do have somebody lease your home, they're not going to treat the home as if it was theirs.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
And also, you're going to be in Florida, and if something happens to this property...
I'll call you, go and fix it, right?
Well, I actually don't do any property management, sir. You probably need to hire someone else to do that.
Yeah, we would have to.
But if something happened to that property, you'd be required to fix it. And if you didn't, you could be responsible for damages on that. Is that something that you're really looking to worry about for the next year?
No, I know it'd probably be hard to lease it out for what our mortgage payment is. You know, these things probably don't lease out for, you know, $4,500 a month. They're probably like, you know, I think I've seen some around us for like $3,200. So I don't want to lose money that way either, and then maybe have to fix stuff. I'm just more concerned, is there really stuff out there that, is there 10 homes that are 3,000 plus like mine, or maybe even a little bit newer? Because I know somebody might not care about the 4,000, but they might like a 2017 built house or 2018 built house.
You know what, sir? I can appreciate that you are worried about the competition. It's an important aspect of getting this home sold.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, based on the comps that you've seen, or comparable home sales that you've seen, what is your opinion on the price we should set for your home?
So what do we have? What was the price per square foot last time?
Price per square foot on the last home was $216, and that one was very similar to yours, however it was smaller. And then the one that was more similar to your square footage sold at $202 a square foot.
And mine was at what per square foot?
Yours was currently listed, excuse me.
No problem. That's why we got the calculator for, right?
Exactly why, 800,000.
About $200.
Yeah. So you were right at about $200 a square foot. If we were to list this home at $200 a square foot, it would be right at around 800,000. So I can understand where you might have came from whenever you were putting the price on the home last time. Mm-hmm. However, you remember our discussion about price per square foot being an inverse relationship, and that the higher the square footage of the home, the lower the price per square foot on the sales price, right?
Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking about that. What was that first one? Was like, it sold for like $175 a square foot or something in here. I'm not sure which one it was. Yeah, that's why I want to see how crazily low would that be. So
it sold at $173 a square foot.
$30 over 4,000. That's going to be a lot of money.
$692.
Yeah, do you really think my house is worth $692, or what do you think?
Okay. Well, based on the comparable home searches or comparable homes that we've seen here, I think that we should list your home right at about $750,000. I think that ideally it's going to sell in the $750 to $735 range, but I think $750 is a nice strong number to come on the market. And we're going to know very soon, within the first few weeks, based on conversations I'm going to have with buyers, whether or not they're going to be moving forward at that price. So would you list your home with me for $750,000, Chris?
I'm just not really sure on the 750, and when I hear you tell me that, I'm concerned. Do you want to list it for a 750 and then every week or 2 weeks, like my last agent, just call me to drop my price, and because you really wanted at 700,000, or do you really think realistically you can sell at 750? You
know what, realistically, Chris, you did have interest before last time when you were at 800,000. However, people weren't willing to move forward. Yeah. You had told me that you did have quite a few showings on the property. It seems like people are interested in a 4,000 square foot house over there, right? Based on the showings. Yeah, I'm guessing, just like me shopping for my car, man. I guess that's why I think that 820 was a little bit too high. The 820, I do believe, was too high. So I think the 800,000 is kind of like, I'm not saying I couldn't sell the house for 750, Cody, because of course we owe 650 on it or whatever I told you, and I'm more concerned about really just making sure I net the most money on the sell of the property. Would it be okay to start more like I'm thinking 800, you're thinking of 750, being like at a 785, and testing it out, and maybe if I have to go that low, I know this is you guys get paid a lot. And yeah. I do know you do a lot of work. It seems like you probably do. I see that you sell a lot of homes. And maybe because you sell a lot of homes, you could help me out a little bit. If we were to have to maybe sell below 785, would you be willing to maybe discount a little bit of your commission? Well, you know what, Chris? I would definitely like to nail down an exact price for the listing. And also, I actually do not discount any of my commission regardless of sales price that we actually end up selling it for. Well, let me ask you something, Chris. Because I do know that you're concerned about how much you net on the property, as you should be. Yeah, that's pretty important. It's definitely important for you and your family. Okay, so do you think that if we had more interest in the home from buyers and an aggressive price, do you think that we would get more money or less money for your home? Well, I guess if they end up, are you meaning like at 785? Well, if we were to, in my opinion, if we were to list at 750,000. And I was able to create enough interest at your home because we've got a great competitive price. Yeah. And I do all the things that I do with all my other sellers to sell their homes. If I do that and generate enough interest in the property, we actually could sell the home for over $750,000. Yeah, and so, Cody, I think that because I'm in sales, I can respect that and I like that. I just don't know how many buyers are buying an $800,000 house.
You know, maybe if it's a $200,000 house and you price it at 185, everybody and their mom is going to want to go buy it because that's what most people can afford. But in reality, how many people drive and buy my house can afford it? You know, it's not a $2 million house, but it is $800,000.
That's valid. You know, and we've talked a little bit about market statistics and, you know, how many homes are on the market. Did you know that there were 30,258 homes on HAR last month? Did you know that?
I figure it's a good amount.
Absolutely. So with all those homes on the market and all the other competition in your area, wouldn't you agree with me that as a buyer, you're not going to waste your time looking at an overpriced home?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, man. I'm with you on that.
Okay, good deal. Yeah. So all we need to do now is simply sign the contract so I can help you get what you want and the time you want. So you can actually get to Florida. Wouldn't that be great?
$785, Cody?
$750.
Now, if I have to do the $750, what can be done regarding, like, what do you really think? I got homes in here that have been listed twice. Homes in here 117 days, 38 days. How long is your contract for?
You know what, Chris? I have a standard contract of 6 months.
Okay. How long does it take all the way to 6 months for you?
You know what, Chris? It usually doesn't take that long to sell a home. A lot of homes I am able to get under contract within 30 days of being on the market. You know, that 6 months, one thing about that is, say we do get under contract or something with the home, and for some reason, you know, something happens on your end.
That's right.
And, you know, say a pipe bursts in the home unexpectedly, and now we've got to get this thing renovated. Are you really wanting to worry about needing to hire another realtor in 2 months if something was to happen to the home?
Only if you're not doing your job. So,
absolutely.
And I know if I want to get out of this agreement or something, I know without a doubt, like, there's a way to get out of it.
Chris, you know what? If you wanted to get out at any time, I would totally understand and let you go and find somebody else, because I do want all the clients that I work with to be happy. Now, Chris, ultimately, you have final say when signing a purchase offer on your home. And I haven't made anybody sign a purchase offer that wasn't happy with the net they were looking to make. So can we agree to just go ahead and get this home on the market for $750,000, and I can actually get you over there to Florida and not having to worry about this property anymore?
What about the agent coming in at 7?
What about what?
I have an agent coming in at 7. What if they tell me 785, 800?
So if that person tells you that they'd like to list it at whatever number that you would like to list the home for, do you think that that agent might be willing to tell you to accept any offer they get?
You know, maybe they probably still want to get a deal just like you do. But you know, I feel like I've set an appointment with them, you know?
Absolutely. You know, Chris, I do this all the time for clients that I have appointments with. I'll actually call that other agent so you don't have to be bothered with doing that. I'll let them know that I'm going to go ahead and take care of you and your family, and then we can go forward. Sound good?
So you'll literally call them right now and cancel the appointment?
I'll call them right here. Do you have the number?
Yeah, I got the number.
Awesome.
Let's make it happen.
Sounds good.
All right, Cody. That's pretty good, wasn't it?